Aries, this is your week ahead tarot card reading by Born Without Boundaries. Tarot, this is a message for Aries, sun, moon, and rising sign. It's an energy reading, so you draw it into you when you're ready to hear the message. That makes it timeless, right? Not for a specific week, but it is for the week ahead of whenever it comes to you. And Aries, this is where we begin. Slow and steady wins the race. You got to take it slow right now. It doesn't mean anything bad is happening, but whatever is going on, patience is the key to make it the best of itself. Don't rush it. And this will not be rushed. It could be that things are moving slower than you want them to or expect them to. Expectations versus reality, get rid of it because it's just going to impact you negatively. You've got to accept where you are right now. It is hard for an Aries to accept, slow down, and be patient. I understand that. It doesn't mean that you're not going to be the universe is expecting you to do that now, right? And which means remove your expectations and accept that this is a process. This is a slow moving process. Now, this could also be emotional stability, a sense of you're in a position right now where you're okay or you're solid enough and you're like, I don't need things to move fast. Maybe you don't want things to move fast because a lot of good stuff is happening, in which case this would be this would be much easier for you. So sometimes we're in a situation in life where we don't want to rush by it, right? We want to savor it. So you could look at it that way from this other perspective, in terms of, I want to savor this moment, or I feel really good about this situation. There's a maturation in this energy. This is Cancerian energy. But it's very mature Cancerian energy. It's like on the other side of 40 Cancerian energy, where it's not moody. It's very self-contained. It's very, I take responsibility for my emotions. This is very adult, maturity area. So let's get into the cards and we're going to see what's going on with you. Aries, remember, if you're looking for personal readings, I provide those. Just go to my website, www.bornwithoutboundariestarot.com, and you can, anything you sign up for, whatever service you choose, within 24 hours, you will have your answers. So book now because they do fill up. And then I have one more request, which is to please, I'm going to try to put these also where you can see them, which is to please subscribe to the channel if you have not yet already. And even if you have, please ensure that that bell is rung for all notifications so that you'll know when I go live too, in case you want to ask some live tarot card questions when I go live, or you want to join the membership, which gives you access to a members only live chat every single week where you can ask as many tarot questions as you want. So you let me know. Aries, let's cleanse the energy. We got a lot going on here. Okay. Be peace has popped up, but it's on its side, which means there's a challenge to being peaceful, which means that this is also going to be challenging. So this is almost like being strong through a situation that could be not so obvious, not so easy. Maybe being the strong one, or simply having courage and saying, okay, slow and steady wins the race. It's almost like you're feeling like I've got to be strong through this time. And it's really an adult stance. It's also coming from the past. So it makes me feel like things are starting to turn around for the better because you're handling things with patience, right? There's stuff here that may be a little tumultuous right now, but handling things with patience is adding value and maybe even writing this piece. So, and it can be pulled forward, certainly. Let's see what this next card is. Take a leap of faith, all toward the future. This is luck too. You know, grasshopper always represents luck. But it's almost like you have to take a leap of faith in slowing things down. You're going to have to take a leap of faith because this is unfamiliar, uncharted, or uncomfortable territory for you. So there's a sense of Aries connecting with your master manifestor capabilities inside of you. When you realize the world is chaos, you realize that your mind is what puts it into order. So the universe right now is calling you to choose, how do I want this to go? How do I want this to turn out? Where do I want this to end up? Or not where do I want it so much as, how do I know this is going to be the best? How do I steer this in the best direction? And then start speaking that into existence. Let that be the only thought on your mind. And all the other tempting thoughts that come in to distract you, tell them to shut the fuck up. Because the only wisdom you're listening to is the wisdom of you knowing that you can direct this energy. Take a leap of faith in that capability in yourself. And then we have Spirit has a plan. So yeah, once again, you're not going to know everything. And there is a little bit of destiny in this situation. And this is also about having faith in the bigger picture, knowing that you can't always see it. Maybe feeling in some ways like God is cursing you. God is not cursing you. The universe is asking you to shift in a direction that you don't feel so comfortable in, but that doesn't make it a curse at all. There is a higher perspective here. And then we have coming into the future, bring a gentle touch. This is something new, something sweet, something innocent, something young, a sense of peace now being restored. This may not be ethereal or divine peace, but it is a sense of new love, new connection, earthly peace, being grounded, or peace finally being struck in a way that's sort of just like refreshed. And then we have be fearless and bold, Aries energy. Really interesting, because be fearless and bold and bring a gentle touch, right? Not necessarily very contrasting energies, but be fearless and bold, but bring a gentle touch. That's really expert level balance act. You know, that's almost like if you've ever watched a professional athlete, that sense of they are bold, they are fierce, they are crazy aggressive, while simultaneously being able to balance on a pin because they're so fucking disciplined and self-contained. So this is like expert level that we're reaching. I think you're going to be sure that you want something. And I think it's going to be in your grasp. But I do want to clarify, what is this plan, God, that Spirit has for Aries? Before we go into our 7-day spread, what is this plan that God has for Aries? We have a Knight of Swords. Taking action on your thoughts or your ideas. It's almost like you need to be the mouthpiece for something. You need to say something. You need to ask something. You need to get out there and make connections and start communicating. You've got to be the one being out there in front, being the mouthpiece. I don't know why this came up. Then we have 6 of Wands, but if you do, people will, first of all, be very happy. It's like they want you to do it, but you'll also end up in a place of fortune coming to you. In other words, it's the time to act in terms of making communications and speaking. It's the time to act now because you will see a wonderful return. Let's get into the 7-day. Let's get the 7th day. Hold on. I think this is day 1. prosperity and abundance. Day 1, prosperity and abundance. We have maternal energy. Could be even pregnancy. But there is an energy of, there's divine maternal or divine feminine energy. Being fertile, being valuable, being valued, seeing value. I want some clarity. Can we get some clarity? A lot of resources. Being prosperous. And then we have 3 of Cups. So something to celebrate about. An abundance or a gathering of friends. People who really appreciate you. This is day 1. Okay. What about day 2 for Aries? Could be some sort of a celebration, birthday that you're at, you know, mother's birthday, or something to celebrate that you've really pulled through when it comes to resources, something good happening to you. What about day 2? We have stability or some sort of finances that are stabilizing, something that you've wished for, finally being solidified. Yeah, finally being like your aspirations coming out. Something that you wanted, being able to have the resources, being able to have control over your resources. Like that's, yeah, that's day 2. What about day 3? Connectivity, coming together, being together with somebody that you really care about, meeting somebody that you really care about, being in love, falling in love, or a great partnership. So over here, this 4 of Pentacles to me sometimes can be greedy or being afraid, but not accompanied by the Star card. Accompanied by the Star card, there's a sense of you've wanted this stability. You've wished for it. You've hoped for it. So there is a sense of something that is stabilizing, something that you knew, and almost in some ways you wished for it because you knew it would stabilize you. Now, on the other side of that directly is being able now to connect, being able to have a deep connection with somebody who cares about you, gets you, and is very much on the same page as you, Aries. You've wished for it is here. And then we have day 4. Now there's some conflict. Now there are some issues. There's issues because there's still nostalgia from the past. In order to, and that needs to just be honored and sometimes in some ways enjoyed, or just kind of love it where it is. The conflicts and issues can be coming from expectations from the past, or a childish way, like a childish way of thinking about things that's causing conflicts, like those expectations getting in the way, or somebody from your past that you've known since childhood creating conflict in some ways about the future, about what to do in the future or for the future. So there is some sort of conflict that arises on day 4 with regards to, okay, but what do we do about the future? What do we do about this next step that we have to take? It's like herding cats. Okay, so that would be day 4. Whatever comes up day 4 causes a little bit of conflict. What about day 5? This is a sense of realizing something is completely and totally done. Something is finished. Something's not coming back. Something is a failure, and being willing to just give up on it and realize that not everything was meant to prosper. And then realizing that I've got to start looking in a different direction. I've got to start moving on. Maybe it's time for me to move on because something now I know isn't coming back to life. I don't think it's this. But it's almost like maybe then finally facing or realizing what isn't working. And finally seeing what isn't working and realizing this is what I have to do differently. If there's been any distance between you and somebody else, this is recognizing that the distance is fucking with you, and then finding a way to move forward with putting that distance, making that distance go away. And then we have the Tower on the 6th day, which means this is the huge change. This is when huge change comes, day 6. And then something that you didn't see coming, or something that you maybe didn't want to feel. A surprise ending that comes on day 6. And what is this surprise ending? Please define these cards. Please solve the mystery for Aries, please. The 6 of Cups is in reverse now, which means whatever the situationship from the past was, realizing that you saw it's this idyllic version that you have. Something ideal from the past is ending on day 6. Could have something to do with a couple. Could have something to do with somebody that you've known for a long time. Could have something to do with your childhood that must come to an end on that day, on day 6. And I've got to say to you, Aries, this is not going to come as a surprise to you. I think what's going to come as a surprise to you is day 3, when there's that connectivity. But that can always offer you a way forward from, let's get day 7, a way forward after all this craziness clears. But there does seem to be something old that is ready to be done. I know that sounds terrible, but what about day 7? How does all this resolve? Oh. For Aries, please. Okay. Well, things are definitely going to be turned on their head. Let's get into day 7 in a second. We're going to go to the Moon card. Let's see how this is all impacting us and get some insight into the Moon. Get some insight into the Moon. We have Hold Your Vision. So this is emotional stability, actually. And the fact that you're only halfway there. So know that you're only halfway there, and don't get cocky and don't lose sight. Don't get washed away in your feelings. This is going to require a certain level of emotional objectivity. I feel like there's more to this message, though, for the Moon card. Hold your vision, my friends, even if the people that you love are not coming along with you or can't come along with you. Yeah. So this could be somebody that takes their love away. This could be the end of a marriage. This could be the end of love or a disappointment in a relationship. But God wants you to also remain fixed in your commitment or devotion to not necessarily the partnership, but to yourself and your goals. But what becomes of this beautiful energy of the Two of Cups? Come on, man. This is King of Pentacles. So this is destabilization or lack of trust. King of Cups, however, is stabilized. So it's almost like this sense of maybe the practical money, resources, the job, feeling like that's not stable, but King of Cups remaining certain of yourself, remaining sure of yourself. If you're dealing with two different people, I would definitely choose the King of Cups, not the King of Pentacles. Because if these are people, you could definitely trust the King of Cups. The King of Pentacles is coming up in reverse, which means they're not very practical, and they might do actually shitty and irresponsible things with money, as opposed to being as reliable as you would like them to be. We're going to get into day 7 after choosing one of these, a couple of these cards. How does this all pan out for Aries? It brings you back to life. So this is really the gateway that you're passing through to begin again or start life anew. And I do want you to watch your video from last week, because It really is about this gateway or passage that you guys are going through right now. Regeneration or building again, coming back from the dead. So this week is really just the remnants of maybe the bullshit that you have to go through, because you really are coming out on the other side. Aries, let's get to the extended. I'll get to the 7th day and we'll read our angel card over there. Link is down below in the description box. Also, I pin it to the top of the comment section. See you guys there.